Yeah, March Madness has been going crazy a little bit. Do you see Cooper Flagg last night?
I've been watching him for years, so he
Same, but
yeah, he's just doing what he's always been doing. So it's great that you can see him perform on a stage like this in a high pressure situation, which was the Sweet 16, and they beat a very good team, Arizona, last night. So, but he's been doing this for years now. This isn't anything new for people like myself who've been watching this young man since high school. So, um, if he decides to go pro, someone's going to get a very good player.
what did you think about that? Those rumors about him staying in Duke for another season. That's very
I
rare for a projected number one overall
well,
pick.
it's very rare, but when you pull the curtain back and you begin to look at it, makes total sense. Makes total sense. Where you go matters. So why wouldn't you hold that?
What? So you avoid in case like the Hornets or the Wizards
Well,
get
you're
number
not
one pick.
avoiding anything. You're just letting people know that you are aware of the decisions that are being made. You aren't just making the decision to say and randomly see what happened. You want to hold on to the fact, let people know that yes, I'm thinking about this decision. I'm thinking about where I want to live in life. I'm thinking about who I would like to play for. I'm thinking about when you believe it or not, Mo, when people make life decisions like what company or where they want to live or spouse or significant other and people you want to work with, why wouldn't an athlete do the same? Why is this rare? This isn't rare. This is just business.
Well, I mean, it's rare because when you're the projected number one pick in a draft, that's millions of dollars on the table. So to stay in college for an extra year, risk injury or potentially sliding down in the following draft, thereby limiting your immediate earnings upon entering the league. That would be why this is rare.
And the people who do best in life always bet on themselves.
Correct?
The people who do best bet on yourself. If you are who you say you are, then you're going to succeed. So slipping and all those things, you don't allow that. That's like playing a game and saying, "Well, if I miss the shot, I might lose." No, you compete. This is how you know most people don't understand competition. This is why they're always living in fear and avoiding competing. What will happen if I don't make the shot? I'll lose the game, and then we'll go to Chat GPT to figure out what it looks like. Like, who
Shout out to
cares?
Daryl Morey.
Okay, who cares? Okay, so this young man, I've watched him. It's one thing he's not lacking is confidence within himself. If you are who you say you are, the NBA will be there this year, next year, and the year after.
Well, one of my favorite players from college basketball was a man named Jared Sullinger, who played for
Okay,
Ohio State, right? And
okay,
he was a projected lottery pick in the NBA draft, but he chose to spend an extra year in college.
okay,
And in that year, he then picked up an injury that was flagged during the pre-draft process. And he went from a lottery pick to the 21st overall pick. Currently now plays in China. So there's no guarantee that because you're the projected number one pick this year, you will be next year as
okay.
well,
So
even if you
let
do bet on
let key.
yourself.
Here's a key word: projected. Who's projecting?
And literally
Oh,
everyone. Do you
okay.
see a world
Well,
in which Cooper Flag is not a top three pick?
so here. But again, Mo, I get it. What the narratives are. Let me assure our listeners: the only people that are making these drafts are the 30 owners. Scouts, experts, they're not drafting. I'm going to repeat that. The only people that are writing the checks are the what they call themselves now, the governors,
Hmm.
the scouts, coaches, executives, they can make their recommendations. The experts on these platforms, everyone can make their projections. The only people that are going to make the call is the guys writing the check. Now, there are 30 people that you have to verify, not project. You don't go into the green room talking about a projection. Okay. I've had a little experience sitting down in the green room. I don't go into the green room and tell the client, based on the projections, here's what we think. All right. You have to verify. It's nice that these experts who aren't involved in the draft process are giving you their opinions. That's called you're uninformed by looking at those rankings. Why would you, Mo? You're going to be an executive. Why would you tell everyone who you're going to draft if you knew you were getting a lottery pick? Why would you? Just give me one good reason.
I mean, there are some years where everyone knows who's going to be the pick. Like everyone knew Wembanyama was going to be the number one pick. Everyone knew Zion was going to be the number one pick. So on and so forth. You don't even need to say it. Everyone just knows it.
Okay. Okay. You can say it. You can say it. However, this young man talking about Cooper Flagg, I don't know if he said that or not, but he has been the number one ranked player for quite some time since high school.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, he has a level of confidence. Whether or not he's the number one player is debatable. But what we do know is he has exhibited two things. He wins,
Mm-hmm.
bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
He was they were the best team in high school. They were the best team. They looked like one of the best teams here in college. And he looks like he carries himself with the confidence to say, "Hey, I'm the best player on the floor every single night." Now, I can respect that. And not only is he doing it on the offensive end, but defensively, that's probably where he thrives right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably a better defensive player than he is an offensive player, from what I can see from afar. Once his offense catches up with his defense, he has a chance to be a very, very good player on both ends. His passing, his ball handling, decision making, shooting, and defensively, he's always been a defensive player. Always. Since I've been watching him. So why would you? Why wouldn't you exhibit that level of confidence? Because he could be impactful, Mo. Very rarely do you see a young player that can be impactful. He looks like he can be one of them. At the very least, he's going to be a really, really good player on a really, really good team. At the very least. I think that's his downside. Now, what he's going to bring, what's he going to add, only he knows that. But based on what I can see today, very rarely you're going to see a young player at his age be as complete of a player that this young man has, what he has displayed here at a young age. I'm really excited for his career, and someone, if he decides to come into the draft, is going to get a really good player. However, if he decides to stay, he's going to be even a better player because his improvement from last year to this year is very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
So that
He's only
lets me
18,
know.
born in
So
2006.
so when you start looking at draft status and performance, those are two different things. Remember now, some of the greatest players to ever play, they weren't drafted number one.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about the kid at Utah, Filipowski. He was drafted in the second round.
I never thought I'd hear some of the greatest players to ever play followed up with Carl Filipowski.
Hey, some of the
Jokic
best
second
players,
round. Draymond
Jokic,
Green second round. So on and
Manu
so forth.
Ginobili. This draft stuff is out of whack, in my opinion. Just get there. Just get there, and then let's see what happens. You're not playing and going, "Hey, I was the third pick, so I should be better than this guy who was drafted eighth." And it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Just get
Mm-hmm.
there. So, what I know about this young man, and the reason I'm excited for him is very rarely do you see a player in high school and improve when you see him play 6 or 7 months later. This lets me know that this isn't about draft status for him. He's putting in work. Okay. And I don't care where he gets drafted. But I can assure you this, wherever he gets drafted, 130 or 60, someone's going to get a good player.
30 would be amazing if we could get him on the Boston Celtics.
Okay. Wherever he goes. So I'm not concerned about draft status when I see young people working, slipping in the draft. If you're working, Paul Pierce, for instance,
Mhm.
according to the experts, he slipped. Paul Pierce had a Hall of Fame career. Who cares?
Yep. He was
If you're
10th
putting
overall
in that,
pick.
if you're putting in that work, you're going to be the best version of yourself no matter where you get drafted. And that is a career. So as I tell all young people, are you here to get drafted or are you here to have a career? And if
Absolutely.
you're looking to have a career, just get there. And then all the other stuff will take care of itself.